Boom.
All right.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first. Yes, we skipped last week with all of the craziness going on in our country. Um, but welcome to the first PMA session of 2021 here on Punk Rock Saves Lives. As you know, I'm Rob. I'm one of the co founders of Punk Rock Saves Lives, and you're I'm here most every week. Mackenzie and I think Mackenzie has more than I do now because of some of the stuff we went through last year, but you'll get us more and more and more. Uh, I'm here in Denver, so to let you know what's going on in Denver, even though the numbers are up, our governor just allowed restaurants to be back at 25%, which confused a lot of people in the middle of the highest numbers going on right now. But some people are starting to venture out, and we were talking right before we went on. Even our local venues like the Oriental are starting to have very limited capacity shows, so that's happening. So you'll see a chance to go see, and the only one I saw the list, but I honestly only remember that Reno Divorce is playing one of them, and Brent and the boys are always really good supporters of Punk Rock Saves Lives. So if you feel like you're up to it and you're in the Denver area, get your tickets to that. There are two shows. One is all ages and one's adults. They do them back to back like that so they can get more people in the venue. So you can go to the early show or the late show. It's a pretty cool idea. So that's what's happening around the Denver area. Be careful, wear your mask, take care of each other. But we are seeing some opening back up. One thing, Tina, our other co-founder and our director, got her first shot. She's getting her second shot, I believe, next week.
Cool.
She is she works at the blood bank, the nonprofit blood bank here. So she's considered frontline. So she got it even before this 50-year-old type 1 diabetic. You know, I'm in the list to get it there, I think, in the next thing, but I'm also on a list of the overflow list, so I might get a chance if they are giving all the shots they're going to give that day and there's still some left in the vial, they have to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I might get a phone call to run down and get my first one at any second. So I've got, at least I'm on that list. So
Yeah.
we're not political, but the sooner everybody gets a shot, maybe we can really return to live music and live touring. So we're encouraging you to please do it.
We do believe in science.
Yep. And you've got to make your own decisions in those things. And, you know, of all people that I thought might have a reaction, it would have been Tina, and she did not. Hey, Nick's online. Nick, I'm going to announce you tonight, and hopefully Kramer's doing something while we're speaking, but we'll see. And Rich is here too, our buddy Rich that's with us every week. How are you, brother?
Hey, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
Hey.
All right. Beside me, as usual, Mr. Dan Falkenthal, our mental health advocate and recent bone marrow match. Woo!
Read about that.
We're gonna hear a lot about that tonight.
Yep. Dan got a big call for the first where you match someone. He did sign up with us when we were Love Hope Strength at the Warp Tour. So it's in Tinley Park, Chicago, Chicago. We always joke about how far that Tinley Park venue is from Chicago. So it's kind of like the LA show being way out. But hey, it was always fun. And Dan did sign up with us on that day and match. Dan, what's the steps been going with that, and what's going on in the Chicagoland area?
Man, definitely amazing to get to be matched. Speechless as can be, and still couldn't believe it. I was in complete denial with that email, just because it never happens. Getting the swab kit for the second swab kit now for the first of 3 parts with donating, making sure everything's still okay, and taking it from there. Besides that, Chicagoland area has been about 38 degrees with pretty nice snow, and I cannot complain.
That's pretty good. We have a weatherman now too. Look at that. Chicagoland area.
You know, I'm suburbs, so
All right, and below me is Mackenzie, our other co-host that's with us almost pretty much every week, every blue moon. We all slip in and out. She had her new little puppy there for a second. I don't know where the puppy went.
She's still here.
Oh, yeah.
I have to hold her tight because I can't trust her.
She looks pretty trustworthy to me.
Yeah, that's how she gets you.
Mm-hmm.
How she gets you.
That's how they get you.
But, you know.
Well, what's going on in the Albuquerque land area? I just added that land to it.
Sounds good.
Called Albuquerque land from now on. It's been good. It's definitely today was a little bit warmer than it's been, so that's kind of nice. It's been pretty cold and windy, so hopefully we'll see a temperature rise coming up here because we're still outdoor only, and I work in a restaurant. So the warmer it gets, the better for me because I'm reptilian and I don't do well. But yeah, so it's been
Feel
good.
that.
Yeah. So other than that, just chilling at home with the pups and just impatiently awaiting, a vaccine and all that. Patient as I can be. We're moving into phase 1B, as I think a lot of people are. I'll be in 1C. So hopefully sooner rather than later. But definitely was pretty stoked to watch some hockey today. So that was something I've been counting down. No. I want to tell everybody, I told them not to wear that shirt. I want to put that out there.
Sorry,
I'm not talking about the game. I'm just happy.
Well, the crazy part is,
back.
I do like Pittsburgh. I'm a Nashville Predators fan. My wife is a Pittsburgh fan. But Anti-Flag did this shirt with Gritty, and we all know why. Because Gritty was involved with a lot of cool stuff over the last year. And
Well, originally Anti-Flag did a Penguins shirt that said "Drop pucks, not bombs," and then people got mad that they didn't that it wasn't like just that it was team specific, and so they just did a plain one, and now they have the Gritty one. So I have somewhere the original Penguins one, which as much as I do love Gritty for joining the anti-fascist side of the world, go Penguins.
awesome.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Shoop.
So Shoop's online. So we
nice.
and last but not least this week, guys, I get to introduce you to, and I'm sure more of you know him than know us, Mr. Jamin Marshall, drummer, singer, everything with Larry and his Flask. I want to say he's the jumper. He's the jumper. He's the guy that flies through the air with it. Seems like lots of fly. And you've got so much else going on now. Your podcast and all of that stuff.
All over the place.
Just between Denver and Boulder, correct?
Yeah, so I'm in Lafayette. Yeah,
okay.
Which is right by Boulder, Colorado. So in the hood, in your hood.
That's pretty cool.
That is. Yeah.
I had gotten word that you had moved here through our buddy Eric, who you were working for at the beer garden a long while back when you first came to town.
Yeah, I did a couple of odd jobs all over the place. Yeah, and I was working with them for a little while, and then I got a job at Les Schwab Tire Center. And I did some mechanic work for a while and did some tires, and now I'm working building trailers at a really cool company called Colorado Teardrops.
Oh, cool.
In Boulder. So I'm doing that full time, and then doing all of this Larry and his Flask, restarting a new merch store and doing new music and putting out some old music that's very rare that we did a long time ago. Some new, all sorts of new merchandise stuff too. So, and the podcast on YouTube, and just trying to, stay busy during the lockdown when that first happened. And then that's when I reached out to you and talked to you on there. And that was a fun time.
Yeah. So I was honored to be on that list of people. We've had some amazing guests on here, but this guy scores the guest. I'm gonna hit him up for some hints there. As we go into 2021 and start to really ramp this up. I do want to say Clinton Smith has now joined us, United Defiance. Our buddies out of the East Bay area. Clinton is a wonder of the PMA movement, so we love that guy to death.
Awesome.
Hopefully you're well out there, Clinton. Check out his band, United Defiance. We're working on some cool stuff, and I'm trying to find when either Levi wasn't feeling good, so we didn't take a chance with his little studio. But either Levi feels better or Kyle from Counterpunch gets back to town. I'm going to record some backing vocals for some 2 United Defiance tracks. So I'm really stoked about that. Such an amazing, and that he does know we're talking about him. Look at that. But let's see. Hey, your brother's here. Look at that. Jesse.
Hey, Jesse, what's up? Cool. We got 2 Flaskers in the house now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Jesse and I actually were like when I first got to know you guys on that Frank Turner tour way back. Jesse and I hit it off big time, and it was me, Jesse, and Roscoe getting in trouble, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Yeah, he is an extremely friendly person.
He is
really good guy. And I wanted to mention, too, that he's been putting out a lot of new music, too. And it's just under his solo name, just Joshua Marshall. He just put out a brand new song called Dragonfly about one of his friends who passed away years ago. And it is a very beautiful, beautiful song. You guys should all go out and check it out. It's on all the streaming platforms, Spotify and on Bandcamp and everything. So.
And now he's talking about us when we were going to the Ranzit show in Miami. So yes, that was on the way to the cruise, and somehow Roscoe and Jesse ended up with me in the Love Hope Strength Mobile, and we ended up in Orlando having lunch with Beebs from Beebs and Her Moneymakers on the way to that. Yeah, it was kind of one of those like what's the word I'm looking for? Marauding trips or something. We kind of ended up in a bunch of different places, but it was so much fun. Yeah. And he just said so fun. But what's so the new stuff you're doing with all the Larry and the Flask stuff is with Flail? Is that correct? Flail?
Yeah, so it's called Flail Records out of Portland, Oregon, and it's my friend Scott, who's in Bridge City Sinners, which is a fantastic band.
Yeah.
You know them?
Yeah, great band.
So good.
Yeah.
One of the last bands I saw before shutdown, actually.
Yeah, they're awesome, and they're putting out a ton of good music, a lot of good folk punk, if you guys are into that sort of thing, and all sorts of really good, brand new artists and music, and they're just really down-to-earth, really cool people, and it's it's an honor to work with them, really. They're just so laid back, and at the same time, really on it. So, I got this to show you guys too.
Ah, look at there.
Sick.
Nice.
So I just got this package in the mail, and I just asked if I could, get some swag from them, and they sent me that and this.
Ah.
So this is the new Oregon Larry and his Flash shirt that you can get on Flail.
Nice.
FlailRecords.com.
I had the one you guys gave me with the welcome to the old brown shirt from years and years and years ago.
Yeah, that Oregon one.
Yeah, I couldn't wear it anymore for some reason. It shrunk up a little on me, so I put it in the Punk Rock Saves Lives. We have like a flea market in our merch store.
Oh, awesome!
And, like, if you have any shirts you want to donate, I'll put them in the flea market, and we can put Providence with them or anything. So let me know if you, Nathan. It was Nathan Maxwell's idea for the flea market. And
talk about a sweetheart, hey?
Yeah, much. And he's got a box of shirts he's going to donate soon, and I'll have them on there that you can buy. We're just putting them up there for fundraising, and they're donated. But I will give you the honor to know that I put up about 15 shirts to try, and that one, the brown one that said "Welcome to" and Larry and his Flask and the Oregon, was the very first shirt to sell. So
yes,
there you go.
Well, I'll donate. I'm sure I have a bunch of shirts I can donate, and buy a bunch from there too.
Yeah. Well, if you get a chance, if you do have any for donation, just try to make a little note of where you remember getting it. Like if Foxy Shazam gave you a shirt you can't wear anymore, I got it on tour in 2000. 4 or something, you know. And that way I could say, donated by Jamin Marshall, got on tour, and, you know, and I'm giving,
That's awesome.
I'm trying to give everything a little provenance, if that makes sense. And so
Yeah, totally. That's rad.
And, you know, I'm putting them on for like anywhere from $4 to $10. It's not like I'm just trying to raise a little money by getting rid of some of my stuff and Nathan's idea and Nathan's stuff. And I'm sure Nathan's will go a lot faster than mine, but, you know, when I get them, we haven't obviously been able to get together, even though he lives about as close to me as you do.
Yeah.
We try, but it's just tough during this time. So.
He's down in Manitou area, right?
Sort of, yeah. Yeah,
it's cool.
So I understand they're looking at some places further out. He wants to live out, and I get that. That's kind of it's a lifestyle that some people really crave. I personally like being in a town and everything, but I understand why people want to be out and away and in the rural or country.
Yeah. I understand both sides of that.
Yeah, I love being able to jump and go to the store in 2 minutes. That's true. Yeah. But that's just me.
It's kind of what I love about Albuquerque is that I'm equidistant from like city feel and rural feel at any given point.
Well, we have that in Colorado a lot too. We can, I mean, an hour away from Denver, you can be in the middle of nowhere on the side of a mountain. You know?
But I can do it in half an hour.
Yeah, I know. I like
less traffic than you.
I like Albuquerque a lot. Every time I've been in Albuquerque, and a lot of it's been with you, we've had a lot of fun. So I really like Albuquerque, except for Warped Tour there. God.
It's a little hot.
Oh my God, yeah, not as bad as the Phoenix one though.
Oh yeah, I almost died.
Yeah,
I think I felt
wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it was just like my feet were melting through my shoes on the stage. I think it was 100 and I want to say 103, 105 on stage or something, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Good year.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought
like a low year.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's really, really funny on these PMA sessions and our guests, how many of us have Warped Tour stories.
Oh yeah.
It's so many of our scene have gone through. The Warped Tour was instrumental, and you know, I always give Kevin and Sierra and Kate and everybody that run the Warped Tour just the biggest thumbs up. They're amazing people. They took care of my nonprofit for so long, did so much with us. And Nick just threw up there the Florida one with No Clouds. Now, I have to say, there's 2 that'll blow your mind when it comes to heat and the Warped Tour. I went through some seriously hardcore ones, and I'm sure you all did too. But Dallas, for some reason, is in the parking lot of the amphitheater. It's not in the amphitheater; it's in the parking lot. And that was a lot of them. But
Denver was like that too.
Yeah, but something about the Dallas one, it probably has to do with the amount of heat and humidity. But I found that one to be quite possibly the most brutal, the Dallas one. And then believe it or not, we were at the Cincinnati one, and it was actually Tina and my first date. She came out, that was when we first started dating, and she came out and drove up to Cincinnati to work the booth with me and kind of just be there for the day. And I had bought one of those moon mats. Do you know what I'm talking about? They kind of look like earplugs when they poke them out, but they go on the ground. And it was supposed to help with our the back pain from standing all day. So we had that behind the booth. And as the day went on in the amphitheater, we were on the black asphalt, tarmac, whatever. And honest to God, not only did my shoe melt to the ground, but the moon mat melted and stuck to the thing under a tent. So how hot is that? And I have my skateboard that I took on Warped Tour. I still have, but it has kind of orangish wheels on it. And I was skating that morning, going back and forth to the booth. Once the old rule, and Jamin could probably tell you this, the old rule, when the second the doors open, all wheels were up. You were not allowed to ride a bike or skateboard or anything once the gates opened. It was wheels up. But we would all skate and stuff to our booths and stuff before that. And there's still some tar on the tires of that skateboard from that day. So
Wow.
That's hot when you're melting to a skateboard, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah, somewhere on the road in the desert on that Warped Tour that we did, our trailer broke in half, essentially. And so somebody came and welded it back together for us on the side of the road on the highway. And he propped up the RV. We had a big RV at that time, old 99. And it was sinking at, like, the pieces of wood that he used to prop it up with and jack it up with. The jack was pressing down on the wood, and the wood was sinking into the asphalt because it was so hot while he was working on it.
And y'all were trying to stay cool with an RV.
Yeah, and we were on the side of the freeway, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was brutal. That thing, old 99, took a beating and didn't make it. Actually, it wound up in Chicago, Dan, so you might see it around at some, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Scrapyard, man. It's just a scrapyard. Eric's in the house.
There's Eric. Yep. And then this is a good one. Somebody agreeing with me on the Dallas. Yeah, there's something about that Dallas one that. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to throw this out there. Punks and Pets. A lot of people have gotten theirs. Some people haven't. I've been deep into research the last week and a half, and I've found, unfortunately, a couple of artists didn't get done, but all of them but 3 or 3.5 did, and they have now, most of them have shipped. And then the other ones have been reassigned and should be shipping hopefully by Monday or Tuesday for you. So if you haven't gotten one yet, it's either the mail or, you know, us crazy musicians sometimes lose track of time. But you will get one. If you don't, please keep me in the loop. We did find one that says it was delivered and the people never got it. So we're trying to recreate it or print it a different way for them. So we can make things happen. So there you go. April wants to,
everybody. Thank you all for your patience on that stuff.
April wants to draw more cats. I love it. April, when I think I've got them all covered. There might be one I'm trying to figure out. If that one pops up, I'll call you, or Eric from Counterpunch said he would do another one too. So
I got this dog after we did that. So if she's kind of a cat, so April, if you want to name her, feel free.
Adorable.
Well, we will be doing the fundraiser again. It went over so well, and I learned a lot through it. Tina helped me learn a lot through it of how we can track them next time and do it even more organized. So we will be doing it again. We discussed possibly a Valentine's Day version, but it's really so close already. We'll probably do like a middle of the year and then Christmas. So we'll work on that coming up again. And so yeah, she loves. There you go. That's love on, not live on, according.
Yes.
So we will be doing that. Yep. Everybody knows that Texas heat. Woo! It is. It's a hot.
New Mexico had it good for Warped Tour because at least Las Cruces, until they gave up on that lawn, was on grass forever, and then it was on dirt. And then the last year of Albuquerque was on grass, but when they moved it up to Albuquerque originally, it wasn't.
The last one that I remember doing in Las Cruces was back on the grass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when they started caring about that lawn again.
So.
Because I think New Mexico State, they were just like, oh, every year Warped Tour ruins the practice field lawns. Let's just not care. Let's just not
let's not take care of it.
3 years of it not being in Cruces, they're like, okay, we'll bring it back, and then Warped Tour came back to Cruces and destroyed it all over again.
That was a fun one. That was also the infamous pickleback night.
Yep, that was the pickleback. That was a pickleback night. My
And
favorite thing,
if
though,
you were
was
there,
Elliot
you know about
Tour,
that. So.
Got me onto the pickle pops, like the pickle, like Otter Pops. I still get packages of those every single summer.
They're
It's
so
great.
good.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pickle
And
juice.
I mean, I think I'd
Pickle-
like it.
It's the ultimate.
think
It's
you
the
would too.
ultimate natural
inflammatory stuff.
anti-inflammatory and brings you. It's better than like Gatorade or
Yeah, hangover
Yeah,
cure.
electrolyte. Yeah.
Something about pickle
Just
juice.
from muscle cramps and electrolytes
Yeah.
and all that shit.
I used to chug it
The
Yeah.
lady-
in the van.
Still
The lady that introduced me to corgis originally, Jane Edwards, is asking if your dog's a cardigan. Jane, she's her baby is a half corgi, half chihuahua, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she does look like a cardigan. But,
Yeah.
So, yep,
Yeah.
pickle. There it is. Pickle juice sport. That's the stuff
So good.
that's the stuff they gave.
So good.
He doesn't like it.
Well, that
Dan
company.
doesn't like it?
I can't claim. I've never had, but I know I have seen Rob have it countless of times.
Do you enjoy pickles?
I do.
You'll
I
love
do.
it. It's
Well,
fine.
I do want to give that company a prop. PJ Sport. They a friend of ours knows the owner of the company, and it's in Dallas. And when we were there that last work tour, somebody made a call and said, "Hey, our Warp Tour crew is down there, and it's one of the hottest days of the year." And the guy from Pickle Juice Sport delivered me a gigantic case of the little shots of Pickle Juice Sport, and basically it was like, "Give it to the Warp Tour or the rest of the tour."
I
And
drink like half of them like 3 days later.
it was crazy how many people, and yeah, it was.
I gotta check that out.
Pickle Juice Sport. It works.
I like the frozen ones better. The frozen ones are better than
I
like
mean, that-
little 5-hour energy things.
That does make sense. Yes,
More
and
fun.
there is some kind of pep to it too. There's no caffeine, but it has a pepping of, maybe it's just bringing you back to hydrate it so you feel good when you wake up.
Probably.
If you want to stay away from caffeine, that might be another way to do it.
I've noticed that just paying attention to your levels of hydration does wonders for
Everything.
your pep
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
anxiety and all that.
I know
Yeah.
Dan posts a lot on our mental health group about, "Hey, I love you. How's your day? Go drink a glass of water."
Yeah.
So,
I know it was about 3
And then
months
I
ago
get-
saying that every week.
And then I get yelled at saying, "You're not my mother."
as Dan drinks tea and coffee.
You're my mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so funny because my brother and I have to convince my mom to drink water.
Yeah.
She doesn't like to drink water.
Well, Tina's pap didn't like to drink water, and she was always on him to do it. But the funniest part is she won't drink water, so I stay on her to drink water.
If I spend as much time drinking water as I do telling other people to drink water, I would be in a much better situation.
Kind of true.
Nice.
So-
I've got it right here, but I'm drinking an energy drink instead. There's water in it.
Hydration is key. I was going to mention that because since it is PMA, I was going to say, like, I've found that in my adventures, like when I was down and out and feeling bad, getting healthy is the most important thing that I did for my mental. Because if your body's healthy, your mind follows.
Yeah, it is.
That so
It is always good to.
And hydration is key.
Absolutely.
And there have been a lot of people that have used this time in solitude or whatever we want to call it, isolation, to concentrate on, working out at their house or running or something like that. And we encourage that. I'm not the greatest. My best friend in Cincinnati can tell you, neither one of us even at 50 years old will run unless we have to, unless something's chasing us, because our soccer coach and football coach in high school ran us to literal death. And we joke every time we're together that because of that, neither one of people derive pleasure from running. We can't.
I don't like those people.
No,
Those people are not human.
but every once in a while I get up and I'll do 25, 50 sit-ups just to get the day going or something like that. Luckily, my job right now has, I move a lot. I'm in the car a lot, but I'm getting out of the car a lot and moving around. You do feel tired when you get home, but but you also feel good. There's a good tired versus a bad tired. It's really cool. When I did take the job with the gigantic corporation driving that truck, I will say for that 2 months, I was beat to hell, but I was physically, I could feel it turning as every day. You know what I mean? I would go home incredibly sore, incredibly tired. Oh yeah, this is cool. April's bringing up the Miggy Chin's yoga thing he's talking about, and
Yeah, I just heard about that.
yep, it's
I
really
don't think you checked out, but I keep forgetting about it.
It's pretty cool. It's kind of like a pay what, like a certain amount you pay, obviously, but it's going with your work schedule and with your lifestyle. That he's making it work with everyone. It's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, we love that. And Michelle Swain is doing the yoga sessions for us as pay as you can, donate as you can. I think she's going to do one a month, and so keep looking for those. Yoga Online with Michelle Swain, Spencer Swain from Flogging Molly's wife, and awesome on her own. I didn't have to throw that there, but just showing you where we met her. We met her through Flogging Molly, and they're two of the most wonderful people you'll ever meet in your life. And so she came to us about doing Yoga Online and donating, and it's great. I know on our mental health side, Tina and Dan are working on finding. There was a lot of posts today, and I'll throw it out there in case you do. If you know anyone that does guided meditation, we're looking for some people to work with. So throw the leads to info@punkrocksaveslives.org, or you can Facebook us or anything like that. I do want to throw this out there, and we'll just keep talking. We're only at 30 minutes. It feels like we've been going forever. But we're finally getting some stuff done on the website. We're working on some people to do some even more. Kramer does a lot of great work on the website for us, and then you guys have all met Kramer like last week, and he was one of our firemen on the big fireman discussion, and all of that. But Mackenzie and Dan are finally on the employee page.
Yeah, yep. We exist.
Yep.
Holy God.
And Mackenzie's picture is so rad because it's her sitting in Joe Strummer's Cadillac. It's pretty
yep.
Cool. So
yeah. Wow. In order to, they do that at different events, obviously not right now, but you can probably track it down when live events happen again. The Joe Strummer Foundation, which is amazing.
We love them.
You bring it around and you can just donate money. I think it's a donate what you can. I think it's a minimum of like $5 to sit in his actual Cadillac and get a picture taken in it. And their goal is to actually get it up and running again. When I did it, donating to that thing also bought you a raffle ticket to win one of his very own cigarette butts that his daughter found in the car after she got it. Didn't win it, but that I think would have been the coolest piece of memorabilia of all time. And
wow, April's asking.
Yes, Shoop, it was. I cried. I am crying in that photo, actually.
Yeah, that was over there under the awnings or whatever.
It was next to
Punk Rock
Paintbrushes. Yeah, the punk and paintbrushes and like Winston Smith stuff.
Yep, that's all Punk Rock and Paintbrushes. I got we were the charity. Well, Love Hope Strength was the charity with Punk Rock and Paintbrushes at the one before the very last Warped Tour show out in San Francisco, and the night before, and hanging out, got to actually meet Winston, which was pretty rad.
Yeah, I had like an hour-long conversation with that guy. He is fascinating.
Yeah, Nathan was there too, and Nathan was talking to him, and I walked up and just Nathan pulled me into the conversation. I wasn't even really sure that it was Winston, if that makes sense. I just didn't know. I knew the art, I knew the name, didn't necessarily know the face. And Nathan and I are talking for a little bit, and he goes, "Hey, Rob, you do know this is Winston, right?" And I was like, "Oh, shit." So incredible thing.
Absolutely amazing human.
The other thing is, and I know Kramer's working on it today. He might have been today, maybe tomorrow. We've added 3 more members to the advisory board committee, and we'll be, that's always open, and we're going to be adding lots more. But I do want to welcome, and Nick is online, I believe, still. If Nick Zeppeto's here, he's the gentleman here in the Denver metropolitan area that owns Brixton Barbers and a punk rock barbershop. And it's awesome. He's got a big decal of Punk Rock Saves Lives on the window of his shop, and we want to have that whole expanse of advisors. Yeah, there's Nick. He's still online. So everybody, welcome Nick to the advisory board. But we're trying to get a big spread of business owners, punk rockers, artists, all sorts of stuff in this advisory committee, so we can help find cool stuff to help you throughout the future. Cool bands to tour with, good advice how to make things cool. So that's one. I'm going to give you 3 on the new advisory board. Number 2 is Miss Lynn Lee from Bad Cop is joining us.
Oh, cool.
So her picture and a little biography will be up, and if it's not up already, it'll be up in the next year. So really, really rad human, really gives a lot. And if you saw her bassist versus racist shirt that was just out, if not, you can check with Chaos Merch and see if there's still some available. But she has just, this what sparked me here is the newest bassist versus racist shirts is Miguel Chen, and it's bassism versus racism. And so that's all through Chaos Merch, and that's pretty rad.
Cool.
That's Gabby Chaos from the Venomous Pinks too. So it's shout out to them, and that's awesome. Number 3 is our boy Todd Daigle. I don't know how we never had Todd on the advisory board. Todd is the bass player in These Roving Years, my project with Adam from the faction in April. Shoot. So now all 4 members are officially part of the Punk Rock Saves Lives world. Not that they weren't already, but and Todd was in King Rat. He was in Pride Bowl. He was in a lot of really rad bands, and his insights into and his caring for the world are going to be invaluable to add to the group. So it's pretty rad, and that'll be growing and growing and growing. Our friends at Spar Customs out there that do most of our merch, pretty much 95% of everything we do is our boy Dabbles, and he does a lot of great stuff. He's in that advisory committee. There's so much growing from that. So many great musicians, not only on our board of directors, but down to the advisory board. I wanted that to be something that it's just a group of people that we can, when we come up with an idea, we can shoot it off of them and say, hey, what do you think of this? Is this going to fly with your crowd or with your business and stuff like that? So we can pinpoint doing good.
That's awesome.
I know there's so much in the works right now. Tina's got we're working on the Narcan idea. We're finding how we can get people certified to be able to carry Narcan and all that. And so all sorts of cool stuff. We're also working on, building, and Dan, you can say more about, we're building a list of trying to get people correct. Like, we can be your first person you call if you're having a mental issue, and we can be your friends. But if we can we're building a list of people that will talk to you that are trained and professional and can, be confidential and all of that for you. So that's growing day by day.
Cool.
Dan probably can tell you a little more than just a little more direction than I am. I try to be our face and talk about all sorts of stuff, and I'm the guy trying to do them. But Tina and Dan and a whole bunch of, and Robin and everybody are really working on the stuff behind the scenes and getting us more and more on the mental health side, which is so rad. It's something we all need, you don't, and I love the fact that we're using our platform and and Jamin will get a kick out of this, our old punk rockness to tell people it's okay. Speak out if you're having trouble. Yeah. We're here. Oh, hey, Jamin, your mom's here.
Hi, Mom. Everybody say hi to Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Awesome. She found it somehow. I was hoping we'd see her name pop up on there, but I wasn't sure if I sent her the link, but I guess she finally figured it out. Hi, Mom.
I love when that kind of works out like that.
Rob, did you ever meet Mom?
I'm not sure.
That's possible, but I don't know.
There's some kind of weird thought that maybe she came to a Denver show. Was that?
I don't know.
She's here. Can she tell us any embarrassing, like, early Larry Flask stories?
I'm not sure if she's that up on chatting on the Facebook. I don't know if she can. Let's see if she can. Mom, can you write us something? I'm sure she has lots of embarrassing stories. She had to put up with us practicing in her house in one of the bedrooms for many years at full volume before we were any good, really, at all.
Sounds like a very strong woman, but we do appreciate her
just
allowing you
patience and everything. Her and my dad were just amazing to let us do that and learn how to play the instruments in their house. Very, very loud. Yeah.
Well, we know you and Jesse, but how did the rest of what was the original origins of Larry and Flask?
So it was Jesse and I, the rhythm section, playing and writing songs together in my bedroom in my parents' house. So my bedroom became the practice room at our house on Glacier Avenue in Redmond, Oregon. And that's where we started. And then very quickly, one of our high school friends, Greg Johnson, joined the band. So we wrote the first songs ever with him and my brother and myself. And I was sitting down, playing the drums and singing. And then it shifted.
Down.
Yeah.
Sitting down.
I know. Slacker, right? And then a little while, very little while after that, Ian Cook joined us and he started playing guitar. And then we continued on like that for maybe
thanks, Johnny,
a year or so. And then had a different guitarist come in and Greg left and shifted around. And then we got a real drummer playing with us. And I just moved up to singing. And Bo Batts was playing the drums. We did a couple small tours, one across Canada and back. And then after that, Bo, our drummer, left. And we kind of morphed around a bit and started playing acoustic instruments. And I started playing washboard and stuff like that on the street. And we would just play on the street because nobody wanted us in their clubs or at the bars or anything. And then, and so we just did it on the street. And then I decided that since I was standing already and my ego wouldn't let me sit back down behind the drum kit, that I would just bring the drums front and center and play like that. And that's how it kind of morphed around. Andrew and Kirk, they joined, and that was and Dallin as well, whom I'm sure you met, Rob. Yep, you guys probably all met yep. Those guys. And and we were like that for many years. And then Dal left the band to join Carrie Nation and the Speakeasy from Kansas. Really great band. And we just... Oh, she wrote something. What'd she say?
We always had to help them out and always got free merch.
Still supporting them. I love being their mom, and hadn't seen them in 13 months. Yeah, it's been a long time. She lives in Canada, so with all this COVID shit, we weren't able to go see her yet. So
I haven't seen my parents since November of 2019. So I stopped. Tina and I stopped and saw my parents on the way to the last Flogging Molly cruise. So that was November 2019. So
dang.
It's a big deal to miss, period, but I am an only child to my mom. So not getting to see my mom for 13, 14 months it's tough. We're all struggling through it, but just check on your people. Once or twice a week, give your mom and dad a call, give your brother, sister a call your best friends, you call people. I don't know. I'm not trying to put myself out there on a pedestal, but I've started, I've started just going through my phone and 2 or 3 people a week, just sending a message to somebody randomly in my phone that they rock. No follow up on it or anything. Just hey, just want you to know you rock. There you go. Do something small.
Little boost in their day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yell at.
It's nice to know that you're being thought of.
Yep. I say it every so often. Yell over your fence to your neighbor. If you're in an apartment complex, knock on the wall and just say, "Hey, is everybody doing okay?" You might not even know them, but just checking on, that's just a beautiful thing. So
yeah, we all miss the connections that we've had, and it's important to touch base again. I've just recently done that in a big way this year, or last year, just reconnecting with lots of old friends from Central Oregon and high school even, and it's been really good to hear their voices again on the phone.
such a cool thing. It's and it's tough, guys. A lot of us have had a lot of loss during this. Tina, and if you need it, check our website, or our Facebooks and stuff. There is a Punk Rock Saves Lives grief group now, and they're meeting every 2 weeks. Is that right, Dan?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks they're doing more of a Zoom, but you can get a hold of Tina and she'll get you into the group. Tina has gone through a lot of grief this year. We all have, but she took it and decided, because she was doing it through another group that we're doing a group grief Zoom, and so she did one for us. And I know I came in on the tail end of hers last night after coming in from delivering food for a couple of hours, and it sounded like they were really needed and there for each other, and that's rad. So if you're having those issues, make sure we have that out there for you. Our mental health group is blowing up. It's amazing to watch the interactions there every day. So if you're not on that in Facebook, please check that out. Even if you just duck your head in to get an affirmation. There we go. Speak English, Rob. So yeah, check that out. There's lots of positivity in there. Very cool stuff. Let's see. So then Larry and his Flask grows from streets to being a band again to touring the world.
Pretty crazy trip, man. It is to look back at how it kind of started, and just in my mom and dad's house, to going all over Europe. And we were lucky enough to, I say lucky a lot, but it was part luck and part really hard work as well, and that's something that have been working on over the past few years, is giving myself credit for what I have accomplished, and it's good to be humble, right? But it's also good to know that what you've done is because of the hard work that you've put in. And it was a wild ride. That Warped Tour. So the first time we did Warped Tour, it was just one show, and we won a Battle of the Bands in Montana. So we got to play on the Kevin Says stage, I think, and so that was, I think that was 2006 or 7 maybe. And then, it was amazing. And that actually I wanted to bring up, because that was a very positive, speaking of, positive mental attitude. My dad got to come and see us, and my dad passed away a few years ago. So looking back on him in those moments it's so awesome, because he was just like the biggest fan of Flogging Molly ever. And so he was there at the Gorge that we did the Gorge Warped Tour, that show. And then somehow we kind of even though we were just on one of the very small stages and we were just the local band, whatever, won the Battle of the Bands, but we kind of snuck into the backstage of the main stage, and we saw Dad, who was going to leave. He was up on the hill watching Flogging Molly play. And my brother and I were like, oh, he's still here. We should go try to get him back here. So somehow we convinced the security guard that this is all normal, and that he's just, we didn't have the right wristband, but they didn't really care. We got him back there, and he was just glowing. He was one of the happiest moments I've ever shared with him, because my brother and I got to hang out side stage in the back, and the sun was setting there at the Gorge, and it was just Flogging Molly, his favorite band, was playing. It's awesome.
That's incredible.
So it's moments like that I look at in these days when I think about all the bad stuff that is going on in the world. And even when it comes down to maybe negative aspects of my own career and my band, because there have been rough seas in the midst of all the adventure and cool stuff, there's also been a lot of hard things, right? Because it's life, and nothing is ever just like this, because that would kind of be boring too. But when I think about the rough stuff, then I think about the positive moments, like that. Sharing that moment with our dad was just so cool. He was so proud of us. And then later on, we got to know the guys in Flogging Molly a little bit, and we played at Matt Hensley's restaurant and bar in Southern California. And I think the second time we played there, he was there DJing in between sets, and we just kind of said, like, you know, thanks for everything. You know, he hooked us up with clothes too when he was doing his clothing company too. So that was amazing. And we were just like, hey, you know, would you like to play a song with us on stage? And he's like, yeah, let's learn it. So we taught it to him, and he played it on stage, you know, of course, like a champ. And then a little while later, we asked him if he'd do it on the album, because we were going to record that song. And that's Beggars Will Ride, my mom's favorite song.
It's a great song.
So Matt, yeah, we asked him to do it, and he was down there in Southern California, or wherever he was at the time. He might not have even been there, but he just recorded it somehow and sent us like 5 versions, and we listened to it and picked our favorite one, and that's the one that you hear on the album. And I don't think I talk about that enough, but that was just amazing. So I think that moment too was where my dad was like very, very proud that, you know, that him and mom encouraged us the way that they did. It really paid off because they got to see that, like, instead of trying to squash the, you know, creative, bombastic nature of adolescent punk rock enthusiasm and rebellious nature of it all, they encouraged it and supported it. And it shows, you know, the fact that we had such a good relationship and we were able to make something from it is directly because of their influence on us and because they gave us a place to do it. You know, I don't know what I would have done without that encouragement, you know, without that. We were lucky in that way that they were very good and sweet people and raised us to hopefully be good and work hard.
Sounds very Canadian.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But that actually segues. Before I do this, though, Mackenzie, Dan, did you have any questions that we missed or anything? I know we've been kind of just going for it. So.
Nothing wrong with that.
I just want to ask when I'm going to see you guys live again, but obviously you don't have that answer. But
I do not have that answer.
Well, the way he wrapped that up, it kind of leads to my new little project I want to add to each of these and ask, especially our visitor each week. Jamin, where would you be in life today if you had not found punk rock? What do you think? What?
Punk rock was like an absolute atom bomb in a positive way to my life. It was not, it was, you know, as most people know that are, you know, diehard fans of a certain style of music, but I think in a lot of ways, especially punk rock, it changes your whole view on the world. I think, right down to politics, or right down to the energy that you put out, like going to a show, just the excitement of it, the mosh pit, all those things that we can't do right now. But I really have no idea, right? I think about it from time to time, and maybe if my family had never moved to Redmond from Baker City, Oregon, where I was born, it's a lot more rural, and I probably honestly would have been maybe a cowboy. and that's how different but who knows? Maybe I would have found it some other way, but I have no good answer for that. I have no idea, because it is, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately, like as far as like how ingrained it is into me, because I kind of gave the music world a break for a while, and I did my own thing, and I essentially became a mechanic, and then, but I just can't deny how rooted in it I am. My soul is like punk rock. I love the music, the energy, just everything about playing that style of music, listening to that style of music. Of course, I love all music styles, and I can get into anything that comes from the heart and, sounds good, feels good. But punk rock especially, it's just me. I love it. Being up there on stage and freaking out on the drums and standing up, it's like the spirit just takes you. It does me. Jumping off the things, my brother throwing the bass around, jumping into the crowd surfing to the sound guy, that sort of thing.
Y'all were by far one of my favorite live bands of all time.
Rob, thank you so much.
So it was the energy you brought. And I mean, my first true indoctrination was when y'all opened for Frank Turner here in Denver. And literally, I had heard of you guys, but I had not seen you. And everybody in the Denver music scene, especially people like Jen, and you'll know who I'm talking about, but they were like, we like Frank Turner, but this is a Larry and a Flask night. And I mean, they were telling me that before I got there, and it just destroyed. It just destroyed. I mean, I believe it was the not the Marquee. It was the Summit. The Summit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
With Frank. And to be honest, I thought it was too big of a room for Frank at that point in America. But when you both were there, it was perfect. And it was just an insane night.
Yeah.
And it just changed everything. And it was, and then getting to do, some Warped Tours and some other stuff. I think the last time we all got to hang out was Punk Rock Bowling a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You guys came not only to the booth, but then came down to Hogs and Heifers to our show and hung out. And we gave you the old VIP wristbands.
Yeah, that's right.
Got your drinks for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And so it was and you had our dear friend Andy tagging along with you. So
Yep.
That PRB was weird because I think it was probably the first time I saw you guys on a stage that size. We talk about like low spirits and Albuquerque and all that, like bars with like pool tables in them. It's like where I've seen Larry and his Flask, which is kind of the perfect space in my opinion. But it was really awesome to see such a huge crowd.
Yeah, and I felt the same way. Thank you, by the way. But I felt the same way for a long time too about seeing bands that I love. That like the intimate nature of a smaller club is really awesome.
Yeah.
But as a performer, as far as like the larger crowds go, for me, being the crazy man that I am, the excitement of having thousands of people to crowd surf on top of, or try to figure out how we're going to fill up this giant stage with movement it's like a canvas in a way. So it's pretty fun to do.
It's always fun to watch
the whole gambit.
Bands. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's always fun to watch bands that I've like followed for a while get bigger and like see how they sort of respond in that aspect of like playing a bigger set.
It can be weird.
I may have mentioned this before. The first time I saw the Menzingers, they were opening in a living room.
Yeah.
And then, fast forward a decade and they're playing to tens of thousands of people at Riot Fest. And I'm just like, this is so strange. But like they've figured out how to sort of make that transition. I think have nailed it as well. It's awesome. I mean, you have such big personalities on stage that, you have no problem filling that space.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I think going back to what we were talking about, I think Dan and I have had this conversation before. Some of my favorite bands that I consider like favorite bands and that's a lot. But everybody's like, "How many favorite bands do you have?" And I'm like, "A million." But
The band I listen to is my favorite.
but some of the top tier favorites, I really got, and I can only thank Frank for this. Is I got introduced to you guys and Smith Street Band and Beans on Toast and everybody because of Frank Turner.
Extra Mile Records.
Yeah, Extra Mile, baby.
Skinny Lister. I mean, he brought
Harley.
Yeah, he brought them to America, or he found you guys and took y'all out and gave y'all a bigger audience. And I mean, Frank Turner did a lot, and he did a lot for my, so much power. We love Frank.
Yeah, I love Frank Turner. He is awesome, and he always gives us so much credit, and which is astounding to me. But as far as energy wise goes, and everything that he does, it's like he just never stops. It's amazing. He's one of the most prolific artists I know, for sure. If he's not doing a podcast, he's doing a collaboration with someone, or he's doing a special song, or a book, or
Well, he's been very quick to help. Love, Hope, Strength. He helped me a ton. He's been great to Punk Rock Saves Live so far with everything he's done. We haven't had him on like a live stream or something because he's doing so much for the small venues in the UK that I can't blame him for saying, "Hey, I'm working a lot on this," and we're like, "Hey, we'll be there," but he's just that he is a genuine person and really cares for the people he cares about, and he gives a lot of people a chance, and it's a beautiful thing. So
I feel very blessed to know him.
Yeah, I'm very happy to. I mean, I really got to know you guys more because of it, so that made me a happy person. Well, April's trying to say something, and okay, I'm waiting for the rest of it.
Jesse said King Frank Turner.
King Frank Turner. And here's the funny part: I didn't know, and he's 6 hours ahead.
That's true.
Matt, my best friend, and I saw Frank open for Flogging Molly way before we knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to put that back together. It was really funny because we were talking, and I was like, after we really got into him with, we were like, why is he so familiar? And we both were just sitting there going, what about that Flogging Molly show in Dallas? and that was it. We went and looked it up, and that was the first time we saw him. And that's a crazy story. Way before I was even with Love with Strength, Matt and I packed up our bags in Nashville one night, drove all the way to Dallas, went straight we drove overnight, basically got to Dallas, went straight to the Flogging Molly show, watched the show, had a blast, got back in his car, and drove back to Nashville that night. So that was kind of a long, we did a lot of sleeping in the car and trading off driving and all of that. But so that we had to put that together. All right. We've run into a little over an hour, which is what we usually do. I do want to do our closeout as usual. And I'm going to, let's blindside Mackenzie first. Mackenzie, what have you been listening to, reading, or anything the last couple of weeks? We've been off air for a couple of weeks, so a little more time in there that has helped you with your positive. I know you've been doing lots of yard work, and you've been probably having those earbuds in. What's been turning you on that can help some people over the next few weeks?
So all year so far, and kind of the end of last year, for whatever reason, and I say this, I say like it's very rage filled, but it kind of calms me down. I've been listening to, definitely on like an angry streak music wise, a lot of power violence, a lot of stuff like that. It kind of helps keep, some things. Sometimes I feel like things that aren't as sort of jarring help my mind wander a little bit more than I want it to. So I'm kind of just reining my emotions in with everything going on. I'm listening to a lot of Sharptooth, a lot of War on Women, a lot of a band called Fluoride that I more recently discovered. So if anybody's looking for something that's loud and mean, all of those are female fronted bands who are amazing and will just kind of make you feel good if that's how you manage to feel good like I do sometimes.
Well, here's something I want you to research. that I want to know more about. And I've put in a couple of calls to my friends in Atlanta where she is from, Lezabu Grand. So
Okay.
check that out. Young lady from Atlanta. And the description that I heard when I heard her first song is not only Green Day, Nirvana influenced, but influenced by Erykah Badu and Outkast at the same time.
Love it.
The one song I've heard is called Glue Gun, Hot Glue Gun, and it's pretty incredible. So I'm looking forward to hearing some more. But I want to throw that into your realm because you turned me on to a lot of cool bands. So I want you to see if you find more about her, and we might want to track her down too because she seems.
Text it to me.
I will.
Text it to me.
I will probably forget, but text me and go, what was that?
I'm gonna forget if you don't.
No,
I'll remember to remind you to text me about it.
There. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm just gonna message both of you. It's already up on my second screen.
Oh, okay.
Sweet. Thanks, Dan.
You found her? Throw a link,
Thanks, Dan.
throw a link up
No
for her.
problem.
I want people to
Dan's
check her out. Throw a
I'm just
link
gonna
up.
hire Dan as my assistant someday. Not that I need an assistant. I just feel like I should have one.
Well,
You'd be
that-
amazed by how organized I am. It's scary.
Well, that's what
I can tell.
Dan has been instrumental in this group. Even though he doesn't talk a lot, Dan always is
I don't know
our.
why.
He keeps the like this. There's boom. There's the link right there. That one song that
Did
song.
I
makes me
did I
like,
tell you to listen to No Bro yet?
Yes. I want to check
That sounds
out.
really familiar. I'm gonna write all this down.
Write it down. They're awesome. They've only been around for like a year now. They've had a couple of EPs come out, and I randomly discovered it, and they're phenomenal.
Cool.
Can't wait for a full record from them. Can't wait till they play live shows.
All right, Dan, what's been blowing you up?
Shoot. That's a
I caught
great
him
question.
writing. Look at that.
Soup's
You
calling
got
you out.
She is right. I have. I've been on the whole mix lately. I've been a handful of podcasts, which I've mentioned before, Peer Pleasure, with Dewey, and a few TED Talks here and there. But I've been listening to the Arlights, their newer stuff. Chaser
That's
just
one of
released
the last
another
bands
single.
I saw too.
Yeah.
Actually.
You didn't see? Like within the week of 2021, Chaser just released a song called 2020.
Yep.
So I don't know if you heard, but there's that. I don't know. I've been everywhere. A lot of reggae lately. So whole mix.
Yeah.
Opposite of me. Complete opposite.
I'm just as big reggae than anything actually.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely love it. It's just kind of, I feel like if there's any two genres that are completely opposite each other, it's like reggae and then power violence.
Well, I didn't know. I always thought it was funny. I didn't know Dan was a giant. This is like my little brother here, and I didn't know you were a giant fan of Revolution. And then
Major.
Yeah.
Love Eric.
And when at Lollapalooza they played, and I to put the family together, Brian, who is Authority Zero's top manager, also works for Revolution, and so he was with Revolution at Lolla and brought the lead singer over to our booth to hang out, and I watched Dan melt. I didn't know. I honestly
I was
didn't know.
supposed to be there that day, and I couldn't even get on the train in time.
So,
Once I saw that post, that hit.
Oh.
but it was, that's the cool thing about this group of people is, even if we're at something like Lollapalooza, you got something like Frank Turner or one of our next step over, like a Revolution or something like that. There is a connection to the punk rock world, and we can do a lot of good there. And the artists that know us through any of this really go out of their way to support us like that. Frank Turner gave us one of the most amazing shout outs ever at Lollapalooza, and we signed up probably 500 people right after his set because they went right to the booth because he said to do it. And that's second to when Andrew McMahon comes on and tells you. But Andrew had a bone marrow transplant and is alive today because his sister donated to him. So when we do the bone marrow drives at an Andrew, and if you don't know, guys, Andrew was the lead singer of Jack's Mannequin and Something Corporate, and he's solo now. And his punk rock roots are there. I give him grief about saying that he was in a punk rock band, but they were part of it, and they were part of that whole scene that we did so much with, and we will continue to do more. Andrew has said he will be our guest on one of these in the new year, so we're talking about what a date will be a good one for him. So
cool.
Keep your eyes out for that. He's an amazing guy, and his story is more uplifting than just about any of us. It's unbelievable. So, all right, Jamin, what's been blowing your doors open lately?
Well, it's a good segue because you said guests on here, and I know that my brother Joshua Marshall, he mentioned to me today. He was like, "I really want to work more with Punk Rock Saves Lives. I want to do something." So I'm sure. I'm sure that he wants to come on here and talk to you guys as well. And I also wanted to bring up that if there's anything else that I can do locally to help out, or just hit me up. But I've been listening to a lot of his music. I've been making some lyric videos for him, and they're on my channel, on my YouTube channel, which is Jamin Marshall's Wanderlust Journals. So it's the interviews that we did and also those videos. But yeah, he put out a few singles in 2020 and one in 2021, and it's I'm just so proud of my brother. He's kicking ass, and he's found his voice. Really good singer, songwriter, and so he's been working really closely with Todd Rosenberg, the drummer of the Mad Caddies. And so he also lives in Bend, Oregon as well. And they've been collaborating a ton and making a lot of music. And it's a really good collaboration. Those two guys work really well together. So I've been listening to a lot of his music and also a lot of reggae. I wanted to back up Dan on this one because I find that dancing, just even if you're by yourself or whatever, or thrash metal, fucking whatever it is, just if you freaking out and dancing and sweating, it helps so much. I find from reggae to, like I said, hardcore or anything, that helps your. What's that?
That's what I miss most about shows.
Yeah.
Just moving.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get in your own head, and then you can just sit and stare, and instead put on some jams and rock out for 15 minutes or as long as you can, really. I think is good. Get that physical thing going. But I've been listening to a lot of podcasts as well. At work, I'm able to have my headphones so I can do my job and Rob's gone.
Bye, Rob.
And so
Well, just like that.
he just left us. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's gone.
Oh,
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. Sorry. It does every blue moon.
Yeah.
Kick you off, but it's okay. So I don't know where we were, but I'll jump in and I'll give you a couple of mine, and then we'll close it out. Jesse, please get a hold of me with all of your stuff. You know what you mean to me. We've had a lot of fun together over the years, and you're a damn fine human, and I love you. So that's true. Yeah, we definitely want both of you involved in this this whole thing, and
we're in.
We'll get Ian to call in one time or something too. And I've been watching. Ian's been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. He's been Ian Cook. He's been singing and playing a lot of Larry and his Flask songs on his Instagram, I think. So doing acoustic
like Facebook too, but
yeah.
And I've been seeing a ton pop up, and he's got his new band is Ian Cook and the Light.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's. I mean, we all eventually would love to see Larry and his Flask in some incarnation back live and all of that, and that's completely up to y'all. We want it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one saying that. But we love seeing you all doing your own things too, and that's rad because the more music from people that we know are in it for the right reasons is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Outside of the Les Grand that I was talking about, so that's my music checkout. That's as much to remind me to check her out more. I want to know more about it, and I want to see this. The song that I've heard is more of a punky rock song, and I want to see these Erykah Badu, because I grew up in Georgia and Tennessee, so all of that Georgia sound and that being anywhere from hip hop to classic rock to the Georgia punk scene was incredible when I was a kid, and I'm sure there are still tons of it. Georgia has a very nice. Good night, Clinton. We love you, brother. Clinton's leaving us, but so there's a lot there. A couple of things I want you to check out, and it looks like next week's guest will be Magda from Amber Goddess Designs, and she's one of the ladies that are the ambassadors for Someplace Images with Tina. And I don't know if you saw the post today that I had on my personal page. My wife is an ambassador for Someplace Images, which is boudoir and glamour. And there's a whole spread out. Tina was there Woman Crush Wednesday today, and it was really cool to see my wife answer these questions and be the strong woman that she is. And Magda is one of her, one of the ambassadors with her, and she makes. Amber Goddess is her company that makes handmade lingerie for women of all sizes. And it's really designed. You send her, she tells you what to measure, and she builds each piece directly for your body. Doesn't matter if you're wafer thin to whatever. She will make a piece to make you the sexiest person you want to be. And
I don't know who remembers, but we did have Carly Someplace on for our Body Positivity Week as
Yep.
well. That was back in June.
Yep. Well, we're going to start revisiting some of that. And Magda will be the guest next week talking body positivity. And we'll talk about her new line coming out and all of that. She only does one design at a time, basically. And you can order it. And then if you get it, you're one of the people that got it. And that's pretty rad. It's not like mass produced or anything like that. She's a pretty amazing woman out of Kentucky, and I can't wait to have her on. So check out Amber Goddess Designs. Give them a follow on Instagram, and Someplace Images, which is Carly Someplace. Give them a follow on Instagram and or Facebook. And they have a group on Facebook for Someplace Images and Boudoir that is women, uplifting women of all style, fashion, everything. So please, I've watched my wife grow with it, and it's an amazing, amazing thing. So please check that out. I love that. And it's funny because I'm on Tina's computer, and even though Facebook is closed, it keeps giving me this. And she's in the Carly's Angels group, which are the ambassadors, and they're having a big discussion popping up here. I've been like, what? I keep forgetting it's not my computer. The little camera in mine died, so I do these for minutes. But we want you to know that we are out here for you. 2021 is here. 2020 tested every one of us on bigger levels than we ever knew. And I think one of the positives were we shifted to this. That's pretty cool. You're getting something about, there you go.
Nice.
You're welcome.
But we shifted to more of an online presence and doing cool things like this. And we've had so many artists come on and be part of it and help keep everybody's spirits up. But do remember, it's okay not to be okay, to steal a line from our friends at Hope for the Day. It is true, and we can be that first step for you. I see it every week. If you need someone, my phone number is on our Facebook page. It's on my own Facebook page. Reach out, send us an email. If you need anything, we will be there. We can be that first step. We can help you get to professionals if you need that, if you want that, or if you just want a friend, we're here for you. We try to keep everything going. So remember, we're here. We love you. It's okay to tell your friends that you love them. Guys, especially, tell your friends you love them. It's not a It's not a bad thing. It's not a weakness. We love each other. We really do get through this world better as a group.
Yep.
And punk rock to me was the group that saved my life, changed a lot of my perceptions. I can never ever explain that feeling of, when I found 7 Seconds and Uniform Choice and all of that when I was 16 to 20, and it shaped where I went. I haven't always been in the punk rock world, but I've always been a punk, if that makes a sense. And it led us to doing this and being here for each other. So we love you. Jamin, thank you for being here, brother. I can't wait to...
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, I can't wait to actually get to go to dinner with you guys.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie, I can't wait to get you up here. Dan, I can't wait to come to Chicago and buy a case of Malort.
Ace. Whoa.
One of these days, as soon as I don't have to take 2 weeks off work for traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Albuquerque is what, 8? It's 5 hours.
Yeah, about 5.5 from you.
5.5. So I mean,
Not so bad.
if we could get through this, you can run up for a weekend. You know what I mean? It's not.
Really.
We're
Usually I'm in Denver. Like 3 times a year at least.
Yeah, you do
Something
seem
like
to come.
that.
We've even gone to hockey games.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly, if they start selling tickets to hockey games this season, I will be in Denver 100%.
We have to figure out the Pittsburgh game again.
Yeah.
And I can.
I want to go to a hockey game with you guys.
You should.
Well, we should try to call. Yeah, Jeremy, you're welcome to come to Denver anytime you want. One of our brothers.
No, it's all. But all the hockey games are like conference only, so we don't actually have a game this year. But I will come up to any hockey game. So there's that.
It's
I want to go to dinner with my mom.
I think we all do. Yeah.
Me
Yeah,
too. You guys
it's
can do
amazing.
your thing. And
All right.
we're gonna take your mom out.
Yeah, she would love. She
Get the
is.
real story.
Yeah, exactly.
And April, one
She's
last
the
word
life
from
of the
April.
party.
Sports puck.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, we want you to know that we love you. One love. Up the punks. See you next week with Magda. And after that, there's a 2-week notice. In the Whale. In the Whale. You heard a lot of us talking about them on the year-end closeout show. Well, Nate and my brain just went dead. But the 2 members of In the Whale are going to come on, and we're going to have a blast talking about. And we might have to have Clay log in for that one from Earth Skateboards because he kind of is the biggest In the Whale fan in the world. So, but we're trying to hook up some really cool shows. If you're an artist out there watching, reach out to us. We'll get you set up. Everybody go check out United Defiance. Oh, new Counterpunch video came out today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lyric video. So go see our boys from Counterpunch. And if you're an Authority Zero fan, they are looking for a new lead guitar player. You can apply right now. Check out their Facebook page. They put up a link how to apply.
Or other option, if anybody wants to see a lot more of me, they can teach me how to play guitar, and I'll apply.
There you go.
So,
I've seen a lot of people saying they want to be a 30 Zeros guitar player. Just give them 2 years. And I'm like, it usually takes a little more than 2 years to get to that level. But, but check it out. There's a lot of cool going. I can't, we've talked about it a lot. I can't wait to see all the music that comes out of this.
It's a ton, I'm sure.
Yeah. We've all been locked in.
Yeah.
All of those musicians hopefully have been writing some badass stuff.
Yeah. I think my brother wrote something like 100 and some odd songs in the 2020. I don't know the exact number, but he wrote a song. Wow. He's been trying to write a song every day. So
Wow.
since lockdown. Yeah.
Well, I said my closing, so I'll say it again.
Yeah.
One love, up the punks. We love you guys. Have a great night. And we're out of here. See ya.
bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.